All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. We are back on. Welcome back, everyone. Let me just make sure you guys can hear and see me all good. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Where's everyone tuning in from this morning? Apologies, YouTube guys. There was no stream yesterday. Unfortunately, I started the stream early by accident, and then I was unable to get it back up. So we're back here. We're back here today, guys. So hope you guys had a good trading day yesterday. Ready for another good trading day in the markets. Audio and video good. Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. You guys on YouTube, welcome back. If any of you guys are new here, my name is Aaron Trades. I've been trading for about 7 years, and I mainly focus on gold futures here in the European session. Nice. Sydney, USA. Nice, nice, nice. Netherlands, Sydney, Newcastle. Ooh, Australia. Nice. Good morning from Sweden, Finland. Nice. Dubai. Nice. India, Mexico. Beautiful. Look at that. Good morning from Florida. Good morning, man. Good morning. We got everyone tuning in from all over this morning. London in the house. Good man. Good man. Yes, I'll be trading minis, man. Yep, I'll be trading minis. Philadelphia, nice. France, Canberra, cool. People from all over this morning. Welcome, everyone. Nice. You got a lot of surprised to see how many of you guys are from America still tuning in at this time. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Japan, cool. Toronto, nice, nice, nice. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Good to be back on with you guys. Apologies, like I said, there was no stream yesterday. Unfortunately, I messed up the schedule, but we are back here today. We did have some very nice pre-London trades yesterday, but I haven't been on the charts yet this morning. It's my first time jumping on the charts with you guys. I was up in Brisbane today, so I haven't been on the charts at all today. So we'll do some fresh analysis. Corey, Gold Coast, nice. That's what we like to hear, man. That's what we like to hear. Welcome, everyone. We've got 400 people tuning in, guys. Remember, drop a like for the Topstep channel. If you guys are new here, drop a subscribe, and let's jump into some analysis for the day. Go to sleep, Americans. Yeah, you guys in America, you guys are on the late night grind. That's what we like to see. LA, nice, nice, nice. That's amazing, man. Yeah, Asia. You had some very, very big moves in Asia today. I unfortunately didn't trade Asia today, but this was a phenomenal 200 tick move up here on gold today, which was amazing. We agreed on no 50% commission for them longs. Yeah, I missed that one, so I'll let you guys get away with that one. Yeah, lovely push here. Now let's have a look at the do some top-down analysis here. Vegas, that's what we like to see. Awesome. I was up in Brisbane today. Good afternoon from India. Good afternoon, man. Good afternoon. So let's do some top-down analysis here, guys. Before we do anything, let me just have a quick look at the news and have a quick look to see what we have for the day. Obviously, it is NFP week as well, guys. Non-farm payroll on Friday. What do we have for the day? So we got ADP non-farm employment changes at 1:15 London time today. We do have PMI at 3 o'clock London time, and that's pretty much it for the day. We had job openings yesterday for the US dollar, so we'll have a look at Nasdaq. We'll have a look at ES. We'll have a look at all markets this morning here, guys. Now, what do we have for the rest of the week? We got let's see, Thursday today. So what we got? We got unemployment claims tomorrow. Doesn't really do that much anymore. And then we have NFP on Friday. So we're in for a pretty good day. And for a pretty good day here, guys. All right, guys, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Goldie. We had some very nice trades yesterday pre-London. We had some really nice buys. Let me just move this over here. So yeah, let's have a look at this daily time frame gold. Guys. Quick look at the weekly. You know, weekly is in a very tough range, guys. We're stuck in between 3,300 and 3,400. Which, you know, it's fine. You know, we've been in this range for, since, I guess you could say, end of April. But intraday trading, it doesn't matter. We've still had some fantastic trades in this range. And this is a 1,000 tick range. So although the weekly is ranging, you can still get some great trades. Now, my overall thought process is still, as you guys already know from when we explained on Monday, that we've been talking about gold to come up and liquidate some of this trend line. You know, this was the area where we were basically saying, I would imagine a lot of people are probably trying to short this trend line, sitting some stops above, and we are looking for this big breakout this week on gold. And we kind of saw it first thing on Monday. On Monday, we had a very, very, very strong breakout. Yesterday, you came up, you tapped into previous daily highs, and then you ended up closing right back below as well. So you actually closed back below 3,400. So to me, I look at this daily and I go, okay, cool. Well, could today come down and maybe tap into yesterday's lows? I mean, yeah, it's possible. Maybe come down, tap into yesterday's lows. You've already created the nice top wick for the day. You have closed back below a very nice resistance level here. You broke above it, grabbed the highs, closed straight back below. So could we be looking for a potential daily fake out here? I mean, it's looking likely. Let's have a look at the lower time frame. So we got previous daily lows down here. You guys know what it is. I won't keep it on for now. 4-hour time frame here on gold. That's where we had this amazing push here in the what was this? Was this yesterday? Yeah, here today. Came down, grabbed the lows, huge push up, and it ended up grabbing the highs and engulfing back below. So you can see there's a little bit of a range here on the 4-hour. However, you have closed very aggressive back below this major level. Big squeeze here on gold today. You guys on Zoom, this is our pre-New York liquidity levels from yesterday. Couldn't quite get the New York session. You had a nice push down yesterday, tapped into some major lows down here, and then came right up for the highs. And now you come all the way back down. So looks like we are creating a pretty aggressive range on gold. A very, very aggressive range. We have a massive support up here. Resistance, sorry, and a massive support down here. So big resistance around these highs, big support sitting down just below. Let's drop down to the 30-minute. What can we kind of see here? Kind of got some nice support being formed here. You did just play this nice morning star here. Rejected, grab the lows, having a nice squeeze. If we are going to look for some shorts on gold, could we be looking for a pullback back up into 33.85 before seeing this dip lower? Yeah, maybe. Remember, guys, it is NFP week as well, so you know, gold can get choppy before NFP. That doesn't mean you still can't take trades. You know, even in yesterday's very small range, we had a great trade pre-London yesterday. So we can still absolutely get trades in these ranges. We do have to understand that this is some pretty aggressive price action. You know, grabbing lows, pushing up. Yeah, I think a lot of people would have tried to buy this breakout here, ended up squeezing back lower. So could you maybe come down to tap into these Asia lows? Yep, I think so. Currently tapping into previous hourly highs, so I'll be keen to watch. I'll be interested actually on the hourly. We kind of look at where we're at. To be honest, this is a pretty strong level. Pretty strong level here around 33.80. We're also tapping into previous hourly highs. So if on the lower time frame we start to break out, you know, maybe give some 15-minute fake outs, 30-minute fake outs. It's not a bad area to watch. Yeah, 30-minute fake out for some sells. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the tough thing is, I know some of you guys have maybe been struggling this week. And I think it has been because the daily's been, you know, in such a big range here to the end of last week. Massive push up on Monday, then grabbed the highs and closed bearish yesterday. So the daily range is pretty tough here on gold. You know, I do still love the longs up into these highs from the 6th and 7th of May. But intraday, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised to maybe see you come down, tap into yesterday's low before potentially seeing that push higher. What do you think about copper? We can have a look at copper, absolutely. Gold, we're probably going to see the London Open here. As soon as we get this hourly closure here on gold, you know, we can start dropping down to the lower time frame. Let me just have a quick look. So yeah, you got some nice, you got some very nice support being formed here. I don't believe it's been grabbed on the currency chart. Let me just have a quick look at my, let me just get my trading view chart up here as well. No, it hasn't. It hasn't. Let me get rid of this. So yeah, you've seen some, and these are some big ranges as well, guys. Like I said, you know, you can get great trades in this range, but you know, if you're also getting chopped up, you can also take some pretty big losses. This is a very, very, very large range. Very, very large range. Best risk management tips. Best risk management tips is just accept when you're wrong and just get out as quick as you can. Well, that's one thing I do. You know, I personally don't really care about being past the combine last 2 weeks. Only trading one contract on gold. Nice, Mikey. Beautiful work, man. Beautiful work. But yeah, for me personally, like I say, I don't care about being right or wrong. I care about executing well and following my plan. Most people don't have good risk management because they hold on to their losers for too long. Whereas for me personally, you know, if I'm, you know, these buys that we took yesterday on stream, if I was, let's say these buys yesterday, you know, the second if this candle closed against me with clear bearish volume, I cut my trade straight away. I like to be wrong fast. And the way that I manage my stops is based off candles closing against me. The amount of times that I would look back at a lot of my losses, and they actually gave me a lot of times opportunities to accept I was wrong and do something about it, but I just couldn't accept being wrong. So I'll just hold on to my losing trades for too long. So for me personally now, you know, if I'm trading off the 15 and I see a 15 closure against me, I'm out straight away. No thought process. Yeah, I like that, Sean. What's that? What time frame on there, man? Come up and grab the highs. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. Yeah, but I mean, we're having you may actually get a strong hourly fake out here. If this hourly closes actually above this high here and back above here, then you could be looking for gold to come back up into. So if we close back above 33.80, you may be looking for gold to come up into these 87s and play that range here. So we'll see this London Open here on gold, guys. We'll have a look at NQ, have a look at some other markets. Took a nice 100 tick trade on Monday. We took a nice 60 tick trade yesterday, and I haven't taken anything here today. So we're off to a pretty good start of the week. Very, very good start of the week. We just had some great trades on Friday as well. Yeah, let's see how that 30 close. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see if this right before the London Open, see if this is actually going to break out, or there's going to be a pre-London squeeze up before then we come down and grab some lows. You know, I can kind of to be honest, I can kind of see gold from both sides. You know, you grabbed a lot of lows here. You had this huge push up here today. What was that even at? Once you grabbed the lows in here and broke out, what was that from there to there? 85 ticks in that one candle. It's huge. That's what we want to see here on gold. We want to see some good volume today. Yeah, I like the longs. Yeah, I'm open today, to be honest. Honestly, I'm coming onto the charts today with, and they're kind of the days that I like, to be honest. Coming onto the charts with I have no real bias today. Now, why do I have no real bias? Well, because gold's just in a bit of a range. You know, in a bit of a range. You came up in Asia, tagged the highs of the range, which was our liquidity level from yesterday in the New York session, then ended up squeezing back below. So we're kind of right now in the middle of this range. So, you know, the way that gold loves to trade these ranges is, let's say if you have a massive range like this on gold, you know, you typically do, let's say if you do something like this, you know, you typically do this and then you end up, you know, coming down for the lows as well. So what gold loves to do. If you come up and grab the highs, then where's the next target? Typically down to the lows. So we could be seeing something like that. But yeah, given the fact that we're, you know, right in the middle of the range, that would have been great to have been shorting from the highs of the range. But given the fact that we are right in the middle, yeah, I'm pretty neutral on gold, guys. I don't really have a bias. I'm happy to see what gold gives me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good job to you guys who got the longs in Asia. That was a really, really nice push. I didn't trade Asia today, but it was very, very nice to see you guys getting them Asia trades. Yeah, I thought we were trading together, but I guess not. Yeah, lovely plays. All right, let's have a quick look at NQ, guys. We've got London Open in about 13 minutes here. Let's have a look at NQ. Let's go into this daily time frame here. Let's have a look. What we've been up to. NQ broke back above 21,500 on, when was this? Monday. Monday closed back above. Beautiful 30-minute morning star. Daily morning star there. Came down, grabbed the lows on Friday, held the support, broke out nicely on Monday. So Tuesday, great buys. Today looks like great buys as well. Let me just have a quick look. Is it yes? Grab the daily highs. Let me see. No, not yet. Nice. So NQ buys up into yesterday's high. Looks pretty nice. Have you had much movement on NQ in Asia today? Like I said, it's my first time jumping on the charts with you guys as well. Let me just get this on. This copyright-free music isn't the best. So yeah, if I'm looking at this on NQ, you know, you had a nice breakout on Monday, followed through on Tuesday, a little bit of a pullback, and I would say continue squeezing up into last week's high. Looks very nice. Aaron, which trading hours do you prefer? I would say London, to be honest, but recently Asia has been very nice. I would say if I had to just pick one session, I would say London. London is probably more consistent. You know, Asia, you know, the past couple of months we've gone through a period where Asia's been amazing. But all in all, I would say Asia's probably my favorite. Sorry, London's my favorite. Excuse me, London. Because London, you know, sometimes Asia can be a bit hit and miss, but for the most part, you know, not always at the London Open, but maybe closer to like 10, 11 a.m. you do get good volume in London. So it doesn't always have to come right at the Open, but it's almost like, yeah, most days there's going to be good volume in London. Not always right at the Open. But yeah, if I was to say, like, let me just trade just one session, gold in the London session, fantastic. But that's the good thing about trading gold is, you know, it doesn't matter what session you like to trade. You know, gold moves well in every session, so you can kind of suit gold to suit your schedule. You know, some of the guys absolutely love gold in Asia. Some of the guys love gold in London. Some of the guys love gold in New York. That's the reason I love gold so much. Is because it moves so well in all sessions. Not that, you know, your job isn't to trade every single session, but it's nice to know that, you know, if one day I can't trade Asia today and I miss out on a massive move, well, I'll still come on here in London and see if I can get my piece. Ethereum, please, you have time? Yeah, absolutely, man. We can have a look at Ethereum. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. It has been, yeah. Other than yesterday, it was good. But yeah, a lot of the London trades recently haven't been at the Open. It's more so been around like 10 to 11 a.m. sometimes, or even around 9 a.m.-ish. I do find if the London Open is quiet, you typically get some more trades around like 9 to 10 a.m.-ish. Or pre-London's great. Pre-London was very good yesterday. We had a great trade yesterday. Yeah, I like that, Sean. Yep, I like that, Head and Shoulders, man. That's what I'd like to see. Let's pull back and then squeeze lower. Yeah, I like that, man. So have a look at NQ here, guys. Very nice bar. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that lovely, lovely morning star there on NQ. Same as gold. You reject, you liquidate lows, hold support, buying this. Wow, that was in the London session as well. Look at that. 11 a.m. London time. Massive, massive breakout, which followed through into the New York session yesterday. Very, very, very nice push there. So if I'm looking at this on NQ, to me, this is now pretty overextended. This is a pretty big push up. So personally, I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback before then another big buying phase into the New York session. So for London, could you be looking for pullbacks on NQ? You could. Let's see what the lower time frame is saying, but you do have to keep in mind it would be risky given the fact that, you know, the daily has been so strong. So whether that's your trade or not, that's up to you guys. Is it my trade to try and fight the markets? Not really. If I can, see an opportunity to take a pullback trade, that's fine. I can take pullback trades, but maybe I'll just do it at reduced risk, and keep in the back of mind that the overall time frame is very bullish. So what can we see right here on NQ? Any of you guys trade NQ in Asia today? Did Dakota trade NQ in Asia today? Did it move very much? Let's see. Kind of grabbed some highs. Nice little sell-off here. Gold had a nice push. NQ had a nice little sell-off. We got 8 minutes to the London Open here, guys. Let's have a look. NQ on barcode. Yeah, it It looks very, 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 very choppy. There was a nice little sell-off here in Asia. Look at that. It came up, you liquidated these highs, held this resistance, and had a nice sell-off here. So you did have a nice little squeeze lower here in the Asian session. Let me just have a quick look as ES grabbed these lows. Let's have a look. No, cool. So you got some nice liquidity sitting down here at NQ and ES. You always want to correlate the two if you are trading this. Anyone who's buying here probably sitting some stops down below these lows. So, you know, it does look pretty choppy in here, I agree. But if you can break some lows, come down, squeeze into the support before a potential overall push, looks pretty nice. You know, you may even come down this low. Anywhere back down into, yeah, 21,660 looks like a decent area. But would I short this right now? Personally, I wouldn't. I'd want to see a breakout with volume. You know, this was a lovely grab at the highest bearish closure, but what did you do? You came right into support. So you have massive support being held here, and you also have big resistance being held here. So for me on NQ, I would kind of say this is going to be my no trade range. If we break above, you know, maybe you can come and fill in this wick and have a bit of a pullback. If you break below, great, you have fantastic targets. So in this situation, wait for the London Open, and then you can let the markets come to you. How long do we have here? 6 minutes until the London Open here, guys. 6 minutes. Yeah, we can have a look at copper as well. Let's have a look at copper before we look at Ethereum. Let's have a look. Quick look at the daily. Let's have a look. So very, very, very strong close on Monday. Broke back above our key level of 4.75. Held it yesterday very, very, very well. So I would look for longs on copper up into Monday's high and back up into this liquidity level and $5. Yep, Aiden, definitely, man. Yep, we can have a look, man. I would imagine a lot of people are probably trying to do something like this. So if you can get a bit of a pullback and a good risk to reward, I think buyers on copper up into $5 looks pretty nice. Again, tapping into massive weekly resistance though, something to be aware of. 4 hours just closed bearish back below, so you wouldn't be buying this just yet. With that 4 hour grabbing lows closing above and then grabbing the highs and closing straight back below, very similar to gold. I wouldn't want to be a buyer here. So for the London session, you know, could you see London pull back and then maybe it gets bought back up later in New York? I think that'd make the most sense. With that 4 hour actually engulfing back below, confirming a very big fake out. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to be a buyer here just yet. I would be a buyer on copper on a breakout back above this level, and then you'd have a very, very nice trade. Until then, you know, you may actually squeeze back down to like 4.8250, back down into these lows here. And then you'll be forming a nice trend line here as well. Where are we? Nice little trend line coming down. So if you can get a bit of a pullback, maybe come up to here, form some trend line liquidity, and then great. You could be looking for some. Nice longs. Come on, man. How long we got? We got 3 minutes until the London Open here, guys. 3 minutes. Wow, look at that sunset behind me. I was like, is that a reflection on my screen? That's beautiful. Very, very nice. Yeah, Ethereum. Yep. Well, let's have a look at Ethereum. Let me just get this here. Don't hate shorts of 30-minute close bearish. Yeah, how's this? How are we looking here on gold? How are we looking? We've got 3 minutes here on gold, guys. You're tapping into previous hourly highs, failing to close above. Do larger harmonic patterns work well in gold? It's not something I use, man, so I can't really say. I just use price action, man, so I'm not really too sure, but you know, give it a test, give it a back test, give it a forward test, and see what you find, man. See what you find. We got 3 minutes to London Open here, guys. 3 minutes to London Open. Let's have a look at Ethereum. So what have we done? You've had a huge bounce here in May and April. Weekly, massive resistance, tapping into the lows. Let's have a look at the daily. I don't want to miss this London Open. Daily looks very, very, very range bound. You came up, you tapped into the highs, you grabbed the highs, failed to close below. You have some support here, so you're trading in the middle of a daily range. Is it a trade that I would take? Intraday, not really. I mean, overall, you know, longs on Ethereum do look great as an overall outlook, back up into like 3,000. But in terms of intraday, I wouldn't even look at this. You know, look at this daily range. You grabbed highs, you came down, haven't quite grabbed lows. Daily's in a range, 4 hours also in a range. I think you'll see nice opportunities in this. If I see the daily ranging and I see the 4 hour ranging and then, you know, the hourly ranging, I honestly, I don't like to go lower than that. But in terms of like an overall outlook, it's kind of hard to say. You know, you came up, you tagged the highs, you held resistance, but you also did hold support. So I'd be waiting for a bit of a daily breakout. But overall, you know, this is a fantastic push up here. So overall, in terms of like a longer term, like investment play on Ethereum, yeah, I think longs overall do look nice. We got London Open coming up here, guys. We got the London Open. See if we can get some trades. See if we can get some trades here on Goldie. Let's see. Let me drop down to 30. So you kind of formed this nice little morning star here. Tried to break back above. Came right into this resistance level. And now you're kind of holding these areas. So how's that Audi about to close? Yeah, let's see. 30 seconds here, guys. Anything can happen in 30 seconds. Let's see. London Open coming up. This is a brand new 150. I just activated this morning. Yeah, this is just a brand new 150k here. I'm trying to switch out some of these 50s for hundreds and 50s. No, sorry. I'm trying to too many 50s. I'm trying to switch these 50s for 100s and 150s. I've made that sound well too confusing. So yeah, this is a brand new 150k account I got here on Topstep. All right, guys. So London Open here. You came up, you grabbed the highs. You still did close bullish though. That's still a pretty strong bullish closure. You came up, you grabbed the highs. You're holding resistance. It's still pretty strong though. Is this enough for me to want to short a potential evening star? Not really. Like this is still, you know, this is a very strong push up. I wouldn't be too surprised if we re-break this high. We actually could squeeze a little bit more. I'm wondering if this is going to be a trap to bring in some early sellers and we actually could have a little bit of a bounce higher. The reason I think that is because, you know, I can't ignore, you know, although I do believe, you know, these lows will get grabbed, this is still huge support. And, you know, a 30-minute rejection isn't enough for me to trade against the fact that we have had a pretty decent breakout here. You broke below, you held as resistance, tried to break lower, then you aggressively broke back above. Yeah, yes, it's 100k. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've had some pass in the background, so I've just been taking some riskier plays to, you know, take some payouts, switch them around. Like I say, I had about 7 payouts from Topstep in I had 7 payouts from Topstep in April. So yeah, I'd like to take some, not my London one. My London one will always be my main one, same as my Asia account. You know, these would be my main ones. But like maybe this one, you know, I'd like to switch this out for 100 or 150 soon. And yeah, scale up the size here. So on my 150, you know, I'll probably look to trade like 2 contracts, I'd say 2 to 3, depending on the risk. Yeah, 15 double top. Yep. Yeah, you 15, look at this. 15 just came down, grabbed the lows. I personally think this could be a trap to bring in some sellers. Now, could I buy this? Not yet. It's a little bit choppy here. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see gold maybe pull back up into these areas. So I'm just trying to look for an area where we can get long. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of in here on gold is this big range. You can kind of see we do also have a little intraday trend line come down here as well that we're trying to squeeze. We're trying to break out of this a little bit more. So it's 2 minutes into London opening, guys. We'll see if we get a breakout. Yeah, bigger drawdown. Yep, bigger drawdown, man. Well, I've got a decent buffer. I've got like about $10,000 buffer in my Asia and London. But this 150, I'll have some decent drawdown here, which I start with because it's a brand new account. So yeah, I have about 4,500, which is great. 4,500 is very nice. So I could probably trade even, again, depends on the risk, but maybe even 3 contracts. You know, if I lose what, 20 ticks, $600. You know, it's pretty good. But if you're trading the 50s, yeah, if you're trading the 50s, you know, like my London account, I just stick with the one contract. Stick with the one contract on the 50s. You know, 150, 2 to 3, depending on the size. It depends on the volume as well. Yeah, so nice squeeze here, guys. I think a lot of people probably getting trapped in some early shorts here pre-London. Pass rate, yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be nice. Where could we get long here on gold? Where could we get long? Let me see that hourly. So you're coming within the first 4 minutes here. You're tapping right into previous hourly highs. How much of a top wick is this? How much volume are we actually seeing here? 26 ticks, not bad, not bad. But yeah, I still have my main London account, which I've had since January. It was 37 green, $200 days now, which is very nice. I posted a YouTube video on that yesterday as well. Let's see here. So you're having a nice squeeze here, guys. Have a nice squeeze. 4 hour looks promising. Oh, on the currency. Maybe on the currency. Yeah, honestly, it's the only thing I don't like here on gold, guys, for the buyers is, you know, let's say if we're anticipating that this hourly is going to actually close bullish. Well, what do we typically know that gold loves to do first? You know, let's say if we're going to get a bullish hourly closure like this, and this hourly candle is going to look something like this. You know, well, what have we not done? We haven't created the bottom wick. There's no bottom wick on this hourly candle. I mean, obviously there's a very little one, but this hourly is basically opened and instantly pushed up. So I'm like, okay, cool. Is this going to be a top wick for by the time this candle closes? You know, we're actually going to come back down into the lows? Maybe. How do I change this? Oh, it's really like that. Yeah, break even now. Yeah, nice. Yeah, if you're quick on the breakout there, good break even because there's not really much of a bottom wick on this hourly. If I was buying here on gold, which would have been lovely, here would be a pretty decent management point for me. Anything above these highs, you actually could start to find some resistance and pull back. That's a solid squeeze here, yeah. But look at this 4 hour, guys. You're bullish, you're bearish, you're bullish. Same as the hourly. Huge push down here. Asia, massive push up, big push back down. Now having a pullback. I personally wouldn't be too surprised to see gold find some resistance here. And this could be one big top wick to potentially squeeze lower. Which, if that's the case, that's fine. Sells will be easy. Why will sells be easy? Because if we break above, well, what do we want to see? Very simple closure back below and you could see some sells. Otherwise, if we close above, you may come back up into here. I don't see that much more than there. Out for 40 ticks. Nice. Yeah, nice, man. Did you take the you guys got that hourly flip already? Quick on the ball there. Very nice. What's my strategy? My strategy is understanding liquidity and price action. So, for example, the trade that we took yesterday on our pre-London stream, we were buying gold up into this very nice liquidity level because we were basically anticipating that most people were trying to short here, sitting there stops above. So once we saw price come down and grab these lows, we got long from here to here and took about 60 ticks. So trading from liquidity to liquidity and breakouts with price action. If we can get a trade here together, we'll see it in real time, man. If you guys do get a chance, remember, try and go back and watch yesterday's pre-London stream, where I did take this trade live, and it was very, very nice. We had a zero drawdown on here. We had like $600 in 10 minutes of zero drawdown. So I'm hoping we can get something similar. Look at this for a push here on gold. What a push. Yeah, well done if you guys did take that. Very, very, very quick. 5 minute broke out. Instant push higher. Look at that. Even that 5 minute. What's that? 33 ticks on that 5 minute. Big volume there, guys. Anyone who's short on that getting very squeezed out there. I think a lot of people probably try and see this little break and retest, try and jump in these shorts, and are getting instantly squeezed out. That's the reason I said I didn't want to short. I'd love to have bought it, but I also didn't want to short. Gold is cooking, Coach Hoop. I know, absolutely. It's having a very, very, very decent quick drive up here. Very, very nice drive. Look at this. It came down, grabbed the lows, held support. Hourly broke out, and here to here. Very, very quick. Even this little 5 minute breakout, if you were quick enough, would have been a very, very quick scalp. What's that? 36 ticks in 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes, less than that. Very, very big. Yeah, took the 5 minute. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Took the 5 minute. Yeah, if you took that 5 minute breakout, it's a good quick scalp. You would have had to be very quick for it, but yeah, I know, it made sense. These highs here were the next ideal level, same as this area. I only trade gold, man. Yep, I only trade gold. I've only traded gold to get all of these accounts, to get all of the payouts from last month. I only trade gold. I break down other markets for you guys as well, but for me personally, yeah, I only execute gold, man. Hi Aaron, I'm on a 50k express fund account, and I'm wondering how much buffer I should safely leave in the account before making a withdrawal. What do you do out of interest? It depends on how big your stops are. You know, how much do you risk per trade? I like to give myself at least like 3 to 5 losing trades minimum as like a worst case scenario. So on my Asia account right now, which I've taken a payout from, I have like about 5,000 as a buffer. My London one, I've got about 3,000. So I give myself at least, 2 to 3,000. If I hit, let's say if I hit about 3,000, I can maybe take out 1,000 and give myself a $2,000 buffer. But it all depends on how much you're risking. One thing I did do too early is not give myself enough of a buffer, where I'd maybe get up to, let's say, 1,500, take out like 750, and then end up losing it. So I like to give myself at least 1,500, 2,000 at least. But like I say, it all depends on how big your risk is. How big is your risk? How much you risking per trade, and how many trades will that give you? You want to give yourself, a worst case scenario, a good couple of losses in a row. But also, when you take a payout, you don't have to wait until you get like a huge amount of money to take a payout. Sometimes just taking out a couple of $100s can help you mentally, psychologically. Taking even 500, 250 out, just seeing that money in your account, you're like, great, like I've actually made this from trading. It kind of makes it feel more real as opposed to just numbers on a screen. So I know a lot of people get really big payouts, which is great, but in the earlier days, just take out something small. Take out something small, reward yourself for your hard work, and make it feel real. Make it feel real. Probably not, to be honest, man. Like I wouldn't buy this resistance. Look at this big level, huge. Massive 30 resistance. If I was buying gold, this 5 minute breakout from here would have been ideal, but this hourly's open and just pushed up, so it just is what it is, just got to leave it. But no, if this 50 minute closed above, I wouldn't buy into this hourly level. Buying right into massive hourly resistance. If anything, if I was in longs here, I'd be taking profit at these levels. I wouldn't be taking new buy positions. Unless, unless you aggressively close above all of this, and then, you can get some continuation plays. But honestly, I don't even really have any liquidity levels right now on gold, so... But yeah, give yourself a good buffer. Greetings from Colombia. Greetings, man. Greetings. Welcome. Yeah, start to believe in yourself. Absolutely, man. Take something out to make it feel real. Believe in yourself and show yourself, wow, look at this. My hard work is done. Don't wait until, you've got 10,000+ in the account. build it up slowly, consistently, reward yourself, and you'll find it easier to continue trading that account well. Like I say, I've had my London account on Topstep since January. I've had about 4 payouts from that. It's about 1 payout away from getting moved to live. Brilliant, thanks a lot. Really enjoy your streams and learning lots. Nice one, thank you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. It'd be great if we get a nice gold trade here as well together, like we did yesterday. It'd be great if we can get another gold play here. But yeah, this kind of hourly's opened and just instantly pushed up with no bottom wick, so it's not my trade. But no, if this 15 breaks out, no, I wouldn't buy that personally. I wouldn't buy this resistance. This resistance is where, you know, if I was in longs, these highs here is our potential reversal level. And this could be, you know, if I was buying gold, I'd be managing here because, you know, there's no real hourly bottom wick. Not saying it has to hold, but this could be a pretty strong head and shoulders where if you get some 15 fake outs, then I'll actually be looking for some much bigger sells. I'm not really thinking that far ahead just now, but it's a possible scenario. It is a possible scenario. So have a quick look at NQ. Did NQ break to the downside? Yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. NQ coming down for these lower liquidity levels. NQ probably looks nicer. Why? Because you have clear targets. You're also liquidating previous highs, failing to close above. So if you get a breakout here in NQ in 1 minute, remember, guys, we have where are we? These two very nice levels down here. Back down at what, 61,665 and back down at 61,635. Two very big levels. This is where I think a lot of people are probably getting trapped here on NQ. That's the reason we have this line marked on, because that's our liquidity level. A lot of people jumping in these longs going to get squeezed out here on NQ, same as gold. A lot of people jumping in shorts getting squeezed out. Would have been great to be in the gold buys, but it's nice to see it as squeezing out. No, only 4 payouts for my London account, man. I took a payout on every single account last month, and some I took even 2 payouts on. I had 7 payouts in May, sorry. But no, it's 5 payouts from the same XFA, and you can you get moved to live. Yeah, absolutely. You guys drop a like for the Topstep stream here. Absolutely. Copper's breaking out nice. We'll have a look at copper as well. ES, yeah, ES very similar to NQ. Looking to squeeze out any early buyers. But the only thing with ES is you don't always have to grab the lows. If NQ grabs the lows, then that's good enough. But exactly the same thing. I'll be looking for price to come down and trap out any early buyers and come down and squeeze these lows here. Copper's breaking out. Let's have a look. Yeah, nice. Copper, oh, look at that. It didn't quite come down here. However, look at this. You came down, you grabbed these lows, you've broken out. Nice 15-minute closure there on copper as well. Hourly, look at that. Hourly, much nicer than gold. You came down, grabbed lows, gave more of a bottom wick, and then had a squeeze. So getting some nice pushes here this morning. I'd love to be in one of these. 15 kind of starting to liquidate the highs here on gold, guys. Remember, any 15-minute breakouts, fake outs are going to give me some very nice sells. Any closure back below here will give us some potential fake out sells here on gold. Do I ever trade copper anymore? Personally, have never got on well with it. Not a fan of how it moves. Yeah, I haven't traded it in a while. I took some swing trades on copper. But intraday trading it, no, I'm not a huge fan of it. I like to break it down for you guys, but no, I personally, I'm not a massive fan of intraday trading it. I've had some great swing trades on copper. We had some swing trades back in... Where do we have some swing trades? Back down here in February. I got this massive swing push here. But intraday, no, like, it's weird, you know, sometimes I look at copper intraday and I go, oh yeah, you know, sometimes it moves so well. Then other times, you know, more times than not, I look at copper intraday and I go, what on earth is it up to? It kind of messes with my psychology a lot. I think gold's much nicer. So I was like, just focus on gold instead. Remember, guys, any 15-minute closure back below here, you're going to take the break of this hourly sell down in some lows. This is not a place to take new buy orders. This is the place to take profit if you guys were buying. Yeah, could reverse so quickly, 100%, man. Yep. Yeah, you don't get many top and bottom wicks. That's why it's hard to read price action. That's why I love gold so much, because the candle formations and being able to read price action is so nice. Whereas on copper, it's more difficult to read price action. So you'd probably need more tools to be able to trade copper properly. That's where, you know, some of the guys who maybe trade NQ, like, you may have to add more tools to be able to read NQ better, same as copper. You know, if I was to just trade pure price action on copper, it's very difficult to the way that I trade gold. Let's see here on NQ. I still believe these rejections here, guys, these are traps to bring in some early buyers. Like how I can get the basics of liquidity and trading bias. 100%, man. You know, liquidity doesn't have to be this crazy complex tool or analysis paralysis. It's very simple. Same as these trades that I took here on Friday. I took about 100 ticks here. I did about 2.8 thousand on Friday. Sorry, Monday. And it was all just understanding liquidity. And what I mean by understanding liquidity is understanding where are most people trying to short and how can I take advantage of that. So I was kind of understanding, you know, let me just get rid of all this for a second. We've got a lot of noise going on here. So I was understanding, you know, a lot of people trying to short here, sitting their stops above the highs. Well, I know that gold loves to come up and grab the previous highs or lows before having that real move. So buying up into where most people are trying to short, and that's, you know, that's my trade. Same as the trade here yesterday, pre-London. You know, understanding that most people are shorting here, sitting their stops above these highs. So at any grab of lows and a breakout, I'm trying to buy up into that. It's, you know, liquidity. I think a lot of people use, you know, overcomplicate a lot of liquidity strategies, and it puts people off it a lot. But it doesn't have to be complicated. It's very simple. It's exactly the same as this level here. The reason we were talking about this level is because I was imagining, you know, a lot of people are shorting here where they sit in their stops just above. So my ideal trade is identifying these levels and buying up into them. The reason I took this trade here yesterday and not this trade is I didn't quite have a breakout here. You know, by the time it broke out, it already hit my highs. Whereas yesterday, by the time it broke out, I still had this whole 60 tick range to play. So yeah, I'm just trying to understand, you know, where are my key liquidity levels? And, you know, rather than waiting for price to tag them levels and then trying to go short, I like to expose myself to the fact that, you know, the markets can do anything above these highs. So I like to buy up into them. And there's some of my best trades. Identifying, you know, I used to trade a lot of liquidity levels where, you know, I wait for liquidity to get grabbed and then try and short, which is good. You know, I still take them trades as well. However, I much prefer the trades where I can identify the levels, and rather than just sitting on my hands and waiting for price to get there and then hoping something happens. Well, if I can see this is a great level that, you know, we're going to come and grab, well, you know, we're here to be traders, so trade up into it, because who knows what happens above here. You know, a lot of people who start trading, you know, liquidity concepts, you know, they look for something like this, where they look for price to, you know, create some highs and then grab it and then try and go short. Which, you know, it happens, but I also found a lot of the time, you know, we'd do something like this, grab these highs, and then just keep pushing up. And then I'd be like, oh, great. Not only have I just taken a loss, but I've also just wasted time. So what I try and do is, if I can identify these levels, then I'm trying to buy up into them levels. And whatever happens up here, if I can get some great runners and we keep pushing, amazing. So that's how I've kind of adapted the way that I trade liquidity. As I try and identify the levels and I want to buy up into them. Like here today, if we had more of a breakout, you know, again, if I was quick enough to take it, I should have been taking it from here, but there's my grab of the lows. Here's my breakout. Where's my target? This liquidity level. So I'll buy it from here to here. Here's my entry. Here's my exit. Exactly the same as the trade that we took yesterday. That was our buys here yesterday, buying up into that level. Where do we take that trade yesterday? Take it here. What's the date today? The 4th. Yeah, here. So this is the one from yesterday. So we got in at, you guys can see here, 86.2, 86.2, and our exit was 92.1, 92.1. So that was our trade yesterday. And that's the trade I took live on stream as well. So I identified that this is a nice level where anyone shorting here, where they sit in their stops, just above here. So once this grab lows and broke out, great. Price broke out, gave me a nice bottom wick, put in the buy stop, risking off the lows, and there's my scalp. And that was a very nice, like, 3 risk reward. I think a hard stop was maybe like down here or something. And that's my trade. Trying to identify, you know, that's why again, you know, I would have loved to have been in this buy here today, but you know, by the time we broke out, it was just too quick for me. I wasn't able to execute this one quick enough. But yeah, I'm trying to identify these levels and buying up into them. Where's the ones from Friday? When was this one from? This one was from 30th. Yeah, this is Friday. Exactly the same thing. I got like 3,000 here on Friday. Not that one. What was it on Friday? Here. Exactly the same thing here on Friday. So you came down, you grabbed the lows. And we spoke about this on our London stream here as well. I was identifying this is a nice level where anyone who's shorting here, where's their stop sitting above here? So once price came down and grabbed the lows, this is where I got long from here to here. And where was my exit price? 33.2. Why? Because this was also a previous hourly high. So 33.2 is right there. So, you know, I got long here on Friday, whereabouts? 33.28.7. That doesn't really matter. You guys can see it. But I got a long time here. I got right out of the highs. Why did I get out here? Because you came up, you liquidate the highs, and then start to pull back. So I was like, my exit's right at the previous highs. So yeah, that's how I use the liquidity plays. Trying to spot levels where, you know, most people are trying to buy or sell, and how can I take advantage of it? Kind of like right now. You know, I'm imagining a lot of people are probably trying to buy here on gold, stop sitting down just below there. So if we can close back below here, you know, I'm going to look to short this whole range, which is a 120 tick range, which is very, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, not about 100%, man. Hey, bro, I know this psychology content is working on me. Passed my 4th combine this morning. Amazing, Brad. Beautiful work, Brad. That's amazing. That's what we like to hear. Congrats on passing 4th combine, man. That's absolutely incredible. Yeah, bearish bias. Me too. To be honest, man. If I was bullish here on gold, it was up into here. I was up into here. So the reason I'm not jumping any longs, guys, because this was my long target, but you didn't really give me a breakout. By the time you did break out, you already hit my first liquidity level, so I don't want to chase it just from there. Is that too bright? I make my forehead look a bit too shiny. Yeah, maybe we won't do that. It's too bright in my eyes. So yeah, 15 breakouts back below this level for a fake out sell would be very nice. And that would be a massive 30-minute rejection, holding massive resistance with some clear downside targets. That's like blinded me, that was bright. Why is it easier to read gold than copper? The price action on, let me have a quick look at NQ. The price action on copper is much harder to read because you can't, sometimes you get 30-minute candles closing with no top and bottom wicks all the time. NQ here, stuck in the range, guys. If you did take the sell, maybe you took a smaller loss there. Good management, you know, you're stuck in this tough area. So yeah, on copper, what you'll see a lot of the time on the lower time frame, like even if you have a look at the 5-minute, for example, like you can just see the candle formations here are much choppier than gold, and you can see a lot of the time on like 30-minute time frames where you get candles closing with like no top and bottom wicks, like no top wick, no top and bottom wick, no top wick. Again, here bullish closure, no top wick, so it's very, very hard to read just pure price action, which is what I love to do here on gold. I love to just look at pure candlestick formations. Yep, 100% Dave. Yep, I like that. I like that head and shoulders. Yep, I'm looking for that as well, man. Looking for that head and shoulders on Goldie. I'm hoping it gives us a play here this morning together. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of watching for here on gold. The 15-minute has broken above, so if we get a 15 break back below, great, we got sells. But yeah, absolutely, I see the same, man. You're kind of trying to form. You're trying to hold this with this nice neckline down here as well. So if we close back below, yeah, this will be a great range to trade. But I would like to see this 15 actually close below. So if we close below, you know, that will also, not only will it be a 15-minute fake out, but it will also be a lovely 30-minute rejection. So this candle here is the same candle within this first 30 minutes of the London Open. So if we get a nice 15 closure back below here, guys, what's the 30 going to look like? It's going to look like a beautiful rejection. See? And a lovely liquidity grab. Same as the hourly as well. Look at the 4 hour. Previous 4 hour did close bearish as well. Not the 4 hour is very clear. But previous 4 hour did close bearish. Do you use higher time frames along with your small time frames to determine your trade direction if it's a buy or sell? Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. I love the lower time frame on gold. I love taking, like here, my 5-minute scalps. But I will only drop down to the lower time frame, you know, once my higher time frame has confirmed the move. Yeah, daily time frames are so important. Like my easiest and you know, my best days, kind of like Friday, are when I can see that the daily's looking so clear. You know, for example here, like when this daily comes down, grabs those and closes bullish. Well, then when I come onto charts on this day, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like easy bullish bias, very, very easy bullish bias. Same as here, when you know you grab the lows and close bullish. Coming on the charts on this day, although it didn't end up closing bullish, I was still looking for longs and still gave a great trade. So now I kind of look at this daily and I go, okay, well you closed nice and bullish on Monday. Well, you ended up grabbing highs and closing bearish yesterday. So coming on the charts today, that's why I'm being a little bit more patient, because there's no real daily direction here for me. But yeah, you know, although we're not swing trading, it's absolutely important for me to understand how's that daily candle looking, because they're my easiest days. You know, even here, you know, once you get this massive breakout here, well, coming onto the charts on this day, well, you're not trying to short against that. So your daily bias is very simple. So when you drop down to the lower time frame, you're looking for like fake out buy opportunities. So what I mean by fake out buy opportunities is this bottom wick here on a lower time frame could be a 30-minute closing below and a 30-minute closing back above, and then I can get my trade. So absolutely, that's why, you know, I don't really have, you know, if I was to say to you guys like, how do we think today's going to close? I don't really know. And my best days are kind of like yesterday. You know, yesterday, amazing buys. Why? Because this day closed bullish. Although this day didn't close bullish, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I was still able to drop down to lower time frame and get my nice buy trade. And even this wick here, you know, was 100 ticks. That's huge. But when I come onto the charts today, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm trying to picture in my head, how could this day close? Well, with this closing bullish and then this grabbing highs and closing bearish, I come on and I'm like, well, I'm not really too sure, to be honest. And when I jump on the charts and I'm not really too sure, that's fine. Who cares? That's okay. Have a great trades on Friday, great trades on Monday, great trades yesterday. If I don't take a trade here today, which, you know, we're absolutely still looking for trades, but if I don't, that's fine. You know, that's trading. But yeah, absolutely. My best days are when the daily, you know, just jumps out at me and screams a daily bias. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I like that. His love for Goldie is evident versus the other traders on NQ. Yeah, I love being able to just read pure price action on gold. Like I say, you know, you guys look at my charts here. You know, this is all I use. I use pure price action to understand key liquidity levels. So bullish 30-minute closure here on gold, guys. So absolutely no sells for me here. You'd have to see maybe a 30-minute breakout. Could you continue buying? I mean, maybe. Again, you're opening up an instant top wick. I don't think we're really missing anything here. Coming, you know, grabbing highs, you're closing bearish, grabbing lows, closing bullish. Again, though, you know, although we do see that overall head and shoulders, you know, I can also see this guy. This is, again, why I'm being a little bit more patient, because I can kind of see gold from both sides. You know, could we be holding this inverse head and shoulders? Maybe. We also are trying to hold a big head and shoulders here as well. So I can kind of see gold from both sides, which is good because I'm trying to be neutral. But for intraday trading, in terms of trade we're going to get here in the next 30 minutes, it is a little bit tricky here. It's a little bit tricky here, guys. And like I say, buying that first 5-minute breakout would have been lovely. Just very too quick for me. Too quick for me. Yeah, copper having a great breakout. NQ kind of creating a range, guys. I still like the sells on NQ, but again, wait for a breakout. Maybe just wait for a strong 15 closure out of this area. Not the 1 minute, don't do that. Don't like the 1 minute. 1 minute scares me. Yeah, you know, closed back above. So if you want to short NQ down into these liquidity levels, what do I want to see? I want to see a closure back below this level, because you've just closed back above. So I wouldn't want to short it just yet. If you do close back below, cool. You confirm a fake out, then you can go short. But yeah, daily biases. Yeah, my daily biases are very, very key. Very, very key. 37. Let's have a look, man. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. You guys new to, remember, drop a like for the stream as well. No trades here for me so far this morning, but one candle can absolutely change anything. Yeah, I absolutely love price action. Yeah, I feel like if you can, if you can get to a point where you can just sit on here and read a naked chart, no indicator is going to be able to beat that. Sometimes it's good, to draw on other tools to kind of, confluence what you're looking at. But if you can actually get good at reading a naked chart, you're going to have great execution and you're going to have great management. And that's the two biggest things you need in trading. You need good execution and you need to be able to manage when you're wrong. 3377 on the hourly. 3377. Let me see. Where is it? Sorry. 3377 hourly high needs grabbing. Is that on the currency chart? Maybe back down 3377. I know. Honestly, yeah. I wish this hourly had just a little bit more of a better wick. We're having a squeeze up here, but this is it's really messy here. That's what I'm saying. I can see gold from both sides. That's why I see this pushing up. I'm like, I don't really have FOMO here, guys, because there's not really anything for me. When I can see the markets from either direction, it's probably a good reason to just sit on my hands for a little bit. Yeah, has had a few times, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, I agree, man. Yep, I used to use fibs a lot. You can use Fibonacci for like looking at the higher time frame. I don't use it much for intraday, but yeah, to understand an overall range, definitely. But kind of right now, it's like, well, where do you really draw it from? Because you're having a big push up, then you're pushing down, then you're pushing up, then you're pushing down. Like even look at this 4-hour time frame here. Let me just have a quick look on my currency chart. I do like to correlate gold futures with my currency chart as well, guys. So let me just have a look. The 4-hour closures are very different, and I do find the currency chart sometimes easier to read. Which, to be honest, yeah, I look at the 4-hour currency chart right now, I'm like, I have no idea what that's looking like. Maybe come up and fill in the previous 4-hour high. Again, there's no bottom wick at all on this, very, very small on this current hourly. Which, if you guys are wondering what's the significance of a no bottom wick on an hourly candle, well, if we look in terms of I use the XAU USD. I use that one. I do all my execution here on Topstep, but sometimes I'll just look at that one just for like an extra correlation. Yeah, I wasn't on pre-London today, unfortunately. I was up in Brisbane today, so I wasn't able to jump on. But I made sure I was back to jump on here with you guys. Bought my first 50k account. Nice. Good luck with it, man. Good luck. Take your time. Don't put any pressure on yourself. What pair do you trade? The normal GC gold or MGC? I trade. So GC is minis. MGC is micros. So if you come from an FX background, it's like one lot versus 0.1 lot. So MGC is like trading, one contract on MGC. If you come from a currency background, is like doing 0.1. So if you trade one mini here on gold, wow, look at this pushing on gold, guys. Again, no bottom wick on this 15, which I was explaining as well. I'll share that in a second. So if you were to measure this move up here on gold, if you trade this at one just normal GC, which is one mini, 38 ticks, gold moves at $10 per tick. So that's a $380 trade. So in terms of getting the consistency down, yeah, you could trade micros, trade like 5 micros, which again, if you come from an FX background, it's like trading 0.5. Yeah, so the significance of no hourly bottom wicks, guys, if we think in terms of probability, if we were to look at all of these hourly candles here, what do you have? You have a very nice bottom wick. Here, what do you have? Very nice bottom wick. Again, here, huge bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick. On, we could say, what, 90% of candles do have an hourly bottom wick. So what does that mean? Well, it means if I see this hourly open and instantly push up, well, then it makes me think, oh, maybe this is a top wick for the candle to then come all the way back down and create the bottom wick, because I know at any point that can be created. So that's the reason I'm not jumping in longs here, because there's no bottom wick on this hourly. Exactly the same as here on the 15. If this 15 opens and instantly pushes up with no bottom wick, it means that wick can be created at any point until the candle closes. I mean, sell right now. Yeah, I mean, it's looking strong. So, you know, when you look at gold on the higher time frame and you see all of these massive rejections, you know, at one point, this was a huge bearish candle. And if you tried to chase this out of FOMO before the candle closed, you'd get wicked out every time. So I'm not saying it has to happen, but if I see gold open on the hourly time frame with no bottom wick and instantly push up, then it makes me think, well, the bottom wick can be created at any point, because I know 90% of hourly candles do have a bottom wick. So it just kind of makes me a little bit skeptical to jumping in longs. Or if I do jump in longs, I want to be very aggressive with the management, because I know at any point you can come down and create that hourly bottom wick. Obviously, you know, you do get the odd times where gold does close bullish with an hourly bottom wick. You know, it's not impossible. You know, it happened here, not yesterday, day before. Could it happen here again? Maybe. You typically then do come down to tap into the lows of the hourly open here as well. So this is the first open here of the London. So if it does close with no bottom wick, you can still tap into that London open. But yeah, in terms of if you just got your first 50, oh yeah, I'll straight to micros. Yeah, trader, get consistent with micros. So the reason I wouldn't chase this on here, guys, is because there's no bottom wick. It can be created at any point. So if we start to get some intraday fake out opportunities, I'll be looking for a great short into that hourly open. Aaron had a bad trade and only 600 daily loss left. Any advice for not blowing account? Well, first things first, man. You are recognizing that you had a bad trade, which is good. Most people are very in denial about it and just continue trading and blow it all. So congrats on that part, man. In terms of today, lock yourself out, man. We all have bad trades. We all have bad days. You know, you're not here to be a perfect trader, man. You're here to be aware of what you may be doing. So if you feel like you've had a bad day today, you know, it's fine. It happens. But lock yourself out and come back tomorrow. Don't try and trade it today. $600 daily loss limit. You know, if you're consistent, that's good. You could trade micros. You can get that back. But don't make it the goal to, you know, don't beat yourself up mentally and be like, oh, I've only got $600. Oh, whatever. Let me just full port this and full margin this, because that's what most people do. Be like, okay, cool. I've got $600 to work with. How can I maximize this $600? Well, the best way for me to maximize this $600. See, look at this, guys. There was no bottom wick on that 15. So as this is pushing up, if you try and chase this at any point, this can come down to create a bottom wick and you can get trapped. Same as the hourly. But yeah, you want to think of it from the perspective of how can I maximize this 600? Well, I would maximize it by getting your rhythm back, getting your confidence back, and trading micros for a while. Get the confidence back, you know. But it happens, man. It happens. You know, we're not perfect traders. There's no such thing as a perfect trader. But yeah, lock yourself out for the day. Don't you know, if you had a bad trade day, don't think about even trying to get that back. Yeah, $600. You can work with $600, man. You can work with $600. Let's say worst case scenario. Let's say if you do lose it, that's fine. As long as you've learned a very valuable lesson, you know what you did right or wrong, then great, you've learned something, man. These losses can be turned into lessons. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I think the 30-minute is a potential trap. I don't like buys here. If we grab these highs and hold this resistance, I still like shorts here. I'm not a huge fan of these longs. If I was long, it was from back down here, not at these highs. So if you start grabbing these previous 30-minute highs and break out, it may come closer to 9 a.m., but you could look for some sells on gold all the way back down into 33.70. Very, very possible. Very, very possible. Absolutely, Sean. 5-minute fake out with a 50-minute even star. Yeah, I mean, you're at previous 30-minute highs. Previous 30-minute did close bullish though, so I'd say it's probably a little bit aggressive just yet. But yeah, there you go. You've got nice closure. Let's see how long we got. We got a 15-minute closure in 1 minute. If this 15 closes like this, guys, I'm gonna look for some sells here. I'm gonna look for some sells. Very appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, lock yourself out. Come back tomorrow, man. Like I say, you know, it's very easy when you have bad trading days or bad losses to be like, you know, why is this happening to just me? Like, what am I doing wrong that everyone else is doing right? Man, I have bad days. Everyone has bad days. You know, don't beat yourself up and think, you know, why me? Like, why is this happening to just me? It happens to the best of us, man. What's important is what you do after that bad trade. You know, do you keep revenge trading? Do you go on tilt, or do you just accept it, walk away, and come back tomorrow? This is lovely here, guys. If we get if this next 15 opens and instantly pushes up, I'm going to look for a short. Where am I going to short into? This hourly open, anticipating that we're going to come right back down for that hourly bottom wick. Yeah, there's a very, very, very little one. But, you know, if we just zoom out a bit, you can basically say it's pretty much no bottom wick. It's very rare to even see gold close bullish with that little of a bottom wick. You know, it can happen, but it's not very common. Typically, you see steeper bottom wicks than that. So, you know, before, where's an example? Before this was, you know, a massive wick and bearish candle. This was a very strong candle. Same as here, you know, before this was a huge wick and a bearish candle. This was very, very strong. So this is kind of what I'm anticipating here on gold. Play one of these very nice evening star plays. Here, very nice evening star play. Still looking pretty bullish now. Let me see, 30-minute. It may come closer to 9 a.m. Let's see. That's a very nice grab at these highs here. Came up, grabbed the highs, tapped into this nice resistance level. You know, we are in a little bit of a range here, but this is the reason I didn't want to chase these longs, guys. Don't chase the markets. I have two 100k XFAs. I really want to maximize my profits by copy trading them. No, it depends on how consistent you are, mate, to be honest, man. If you feel like you're consistent, yeah, why not? I mean, I would say trade them separate for now to get yourself at least one payout to prove that you can do it. Because you can get great initial payout just from trading one of them. So if you can prove you can do it one of them, then you might want to copy trade them. But no, you're not necessarily setting yourself up for failure. I like to. I was copy trading a lot of mine at the start. I was copy trading 3 at a time. But it's kind of, you know, I accept the risk as well. You know, copy trading also comes with you know, obviously bigger reward, but also a bigger risk. And if you feel like you're not mentally quite okay to deal with that big risk and the potentially losing them 100k accounts, then maybe it's best to do them separate, get yourself a payout, and then, you know, maybe then you might want to copy them. Or maybe copy some combines as well. Aaron, any tips on which two indices to use as a beginner? ES over NQ personally. No other indices, but I would say gold is great for a beginner. Gold's great for a beginner because you can get very good at reading pure price action, and it gives you plenty of time to think about things. All right, guys, let's see. So nice bearish 15-minute closure there. What are we doing? So let's see if we can come back up and hold this little bit 5-minute head and shoulders. I'm gonna look for some sells. 15-minute just wick to highs and closed bearish, coming up for an instant top wick. 30-minute, yeah, 30 minutes not very convincing just yet. I actually think this 30-minute might close doji. The next 30-minute, which will be the next hourly open, you may play that evening star. Let's see. No, you don't have to pay it immediately, man. No, I've had this 150k that I've just started here today in the background for a couple of days. Just start it when you're ready, man. Yeah, it's probably like a maximum month. Yep. If you do want this sell, guys, the potential's there. However, I'm personally gonna wait for the 30 minutes close because I still believe the 30 minutes is gonna give you a top wick and a more confirmed trade. So I'm not gonna short this one just yet, guys. I'm gonna see this 30 and hourly because, you know, although the 15 has started to wick the highs, this 30-minute, you know, this 30-minute could close here, great. Next 30-minute could still open, give you that top wick, and then you could be playing that beautiful 30-minute and hourly evening star play. Not quite an hourly, actually, depending on how it closes. But look at that for a big wick rejection there. Have minus 1k on my 100k. How would you advise to manage drawdown left? Come back to zero without losing it. Well, I wouldn't look at it from the perspective of like I need to come back. I just look at it from the perspective of like I need to get back in the zone. I don't need to make any money back. I need to get back in the zone. What can I do to get back in the zone? And that's probably going to be reducing my size, trading some micros, and getting my confidence back. Don't ever think too much about, you know, I need to get back to zero. I need to make back losses. Think of it from the perspective like what can I do to get back in the zone? Trading small size and proving to myself that I can be consistent again. Nah, currency charts don't roll over, Ben. Nah, I use the same XAUUSD one all the time, man. So 5 minutes re-breaking the low there, guys. If I'm going to get short here on gold, it's going to be up here. Then you can look to risk off that high there, and you can look for a very nice play down here. Why do I trade GC over ES? I just prefer the way gold moves. I like to be able to read the price action, and it moves very well in my session. So I don't trade New York very often. Sometimes I do. On Friday I traded New York. I prefer to trade Asia and London, and gold moves very well in them sessions. And it's just something I've always traded. You know, before I came to futures, I used to trade a lot of currencies. And I would always trade gold, and I just found I was very consistent with gold. So when I kind of came across to futures, it just made the most sense to just stick with what was working well. But yeah, the reason I love gold so much is because I just love to be able to read pure price action. Nice squeeze here, guys. If you are on the flip of this 5, you can probably manage on these highs. Because if it comes up to create a new high, you probably wouldn't want to be in the trade. Look at this. Is this Audi going to come right back down here, guys? Look at this huge rejection here. This is why I didn't want to try and chase this, guys. I don't trust this. If you see the Audi opening with no bottom wick, can be created at any point. Let's see if we can hang around. We've got obviously D coming up at 9:30 as well, guys. But I'll see if we can hang around for an extra couple of minutes. See if we can get this short. Look at this 30 minutes looking great as well. Grabbing highs and actually breaking out. So sells on the next 30 looks very, very, very nice. This is lovely. It's what we like to see. So you don't get FOMO. You don't chase up here. We follow the plan. We stay patient. And once it presents itself, great. One candle can change anything on gold. That's why patience always pays. I think it's my go-to now. Yep. After reviewing my trades, just been mentally sliding towards trading the P&L. I'm resetting only trading micros again to build up, to build and trade good setups and not the dollars. Yeah, 100%. Ian, that's what it's all about, man. It's not about trading the P&L. It's about taking good trades, being able to manage risk. But yeah, again, you know, I'm here in Australia, so I don't have the need or desire to stay up until like 2, 3 a.m. trying to trade New York. It's like I can get great trades in London and in Asia on gold multiple times a week. Yeah, setup's looking nice. I know it was. I kind of probably should have just given that 5-minute flip a shot. I kind of want to see this 30-minute close, but yeah, like if you are in this, you know, you already break even here. Owlie's looking really, really, really nice here, guys. That's why I said I don't want to jump in these longs at this current hour. So if this Audi closes like this at 9 a.m., which unfortunately I can't stay on with you guys for the whole hour, but sells on this candle look really nice. You guys on Zoom, you can stay around for a little bit longer. You took the 5-minute flip on the combine, setting a break even. Yeah, nice. Good break even there, man, because that 30 can still come up for a decent top wick. Look at that. Grabbed the highs, held the resistance. So we're forming a nice evening star play here. So if this next 30 opens and instantly comes up, we're going to have some very nice sells. Very, very, very nice sells. Yeah, if you guys did already take that 5-minute flip, nice work. Very nice work. Almost 1 a.m. here. Yeah, on the grind. Good man. Gold consolidate before NFP? Yes. Yep. I don't trade NFP days personally. Yeah, gold can get very volatile pre-NFP. Has some very, very big moves. It used to have bigger moves, to be honest. But yeah, it definitely can. Some people stop trading Thursdays. I personally, I'll still trade Thursdays. I just won't trade the day of NFP, or maybe I'll trade a combine, for example. But yeah, gold can create some I mean, like days before though, not really. I find gold still gives great trades, you know, a few days before. And can you explain what price action actually is? Does it involve things like support and resistance, liquidity, breaker structure? What I mean by when I say price action, I mean just actually reading candlesticks. So that's not liquidity or, you know, support and resistance or break structure. I mean just being able to read candles and how they're forming and how they open and timings of the candles. different candle patterns, and then, you know, support and resistance and liquidity is just something I'll add onto price action. But at first, just get really good at being able to read candlesticks, especially on the higher time frame. The higher time frame is going to be the key. The lower time frame is going to be for the execution. So if you can get really good at reading, kind of like what we have done here on the hourly on gold. The reason I said I'm not buying this on gold is because there's no bottom wick, which means it can be created at any point. So if I can get good at reading this hourly time frame, but when I drop down to lower time frame, I'm not trying to jump in the longs on this breakout and getting stopped out. Why? Because I know that my higher time frame can come down and create that bottom wick. So get good at being able to read a naked chart on the higher time frame and just try to be able to picture how that candle could look before it's even closed. Yeah, that 15 was nice. Yeah, that 15 was worth a shot. If you guys did take that 15, well done. You already, what's that 15 pushing down like 36 ticks. You're coming right back down for that hourly bottom wick, which is huge. Yeah, I love just pure price action. Like I say, if you can get good at reading pure price action, you know, no indicator or anything like that is gonna beat that. Look at that rejection there on gold, guys. Absolutely huge. This is what we said about an hour ago as well. You know, when gold was looking so bullish, and if you tried to chase it, this is the reason we didn't. I think it's gone. No, it's not gone anywhere. You got targets on gold all the way down here. This is the confirmation. This isn't price gone. We got 120 tick range to play. This is the confirmation. This is what we need to see before we can execute. We see confirmation, and then we take our execution. This is great. You know, although it'd be nice to already be in it, it doesn't matter. Do we still have very clear downside targets? Yeah, massive. We got huge downside targets. You still have, you know, even if this candle closed bearish, you still have a minimum 120 tick range. That's massive. Gave it a go on a combine. Yeah, nice. Yes, yeah, let's have a look. Is NQ squeezing high with gold? Gold pushing down? Not really. Yeah, NQ and ES looks like a pretty choppy day, so I'm glad we stayed patient on that one. To me, gold's looking the nicest. Copper did have a nice push. In from 33.85. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. 33.85. 33.85. On that top wick, yeah, lovely. Great trade, man. Great trade. So let's see if this hourly can open up and give us a top wick so we can see if we can short. This is a lovely push down. A very, very nice push down here. Yeah, setup's looking very nice. There you go. So gold's coming right back down for that hourly open there, guys. Look at that. That is huge. And this is why candle closures are key on gold. That is a massive rejection. So although we haven't shorted yet, guys, everything we've just spoken about, how if you see an hourly opening and instantly pushing up, everything we've just spoken about, how that can just be one big top wick has literally just happened. So now you guys know moving forward, if you see the hourly opening and instantly pushing up with no bottom wick, just keep in the back of your mind that that wick can be created at any point. And that's exactly what we've done here. And that is huge. Huge. I would love to be in this short already. Nice, good to be back. Pleasure, man. Good to have you in. So now all we want to see, guys, we want to see this next hour. Again, same thing. Open, instantly push up, and then you're going to be looking to short all the way down into here. And then that candle is going to be looking something like that. And you're going to have a beautiful, not quite, that's not the best drawing. Then you can have a beautiful evening star play. So open of the next hour to top wick. And from 9 to 10 a.m., you're going to have some very nice sells on gold. Some very nice sells. That is a huge grab. You've got 2 hourly equal lows down here. You've got massive support down here as well. That's why, you know, if I see these hourly candles opening with no top wick, I don't chase that. Yeah, no. An hourly doji candle is actually good here, to be honest. After that huge wick rejection, that's very nice. So if this next hourly can open, squeeze it, great shorts. Great shorts. So lovely read there on gold. Although I haven't been able to short it just yet, this is the reason I was saying I'm not getting trapped into the longs. And if you guys tried to FOMO into longs up here, you just got completely squeezed out. Look at that 15 there on gold. Wow, look at that, guys. 62 ticks. 62 ticks in 15 minutes. What a push. What a push. Yeah, trust no wickless candle. Absolutely, man. If you see no bottom wick on the hourly, yeah, don't try and short that. It's gonna be hard to get a valid stop here now, though. Yeah, trust no wickless candles. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. You know, this would be an initial target, but you could easily come all the way back down here. Remember that, you know, today's idea is, again, that this is going to be a, where have I gone? This is going to be a daily top wick, and you could easily come back down into yesterday's low. You got yesterday's low down here as well. So what you guys want to see is you want to see this next hour open, hold this level, or at least maybe even here, hold here. And then you want to be shorting down into these hourly lows and back down into 33.70. So for you guys who are staying on, who are going to stay through to this session, be sure to watch these levels down here. This could form a very, very, very nice hourly evening star here. Hi Aaron, first time to catch you live. Love your description of what and why. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, I will be. Yep, stick around for a little bit longer, man. Yep. I want to see this. I want to see this short. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. TP hit 71 ticks secured. Amazing, amazing. Up 800 in the funded. Amazing. Good job to you guys. Good job to you guys actually taking the shorts. Well done. Beautiful. And this is why we said don't try and chase these longs, because if that hourly has no bottom wick, it can be created at any point. And that's exactly what we did. Beautiful work, guys. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I was maybe a little bit hesitant on the short just because I wasn't a huge fan of this range, but it was nice to see the analysis playing out. Yeah, absolutely. Drop a like for the damn value and ticks. Absolutely. Yeah, be sure to drop a like for the stream, guys. You know, I do take trades live here as well, but I've been pretty skeptical of this range, but it's nice to see it playing out. We'll be back here tomorrow as well, you guys on YouTube. Zoom, guys, give me 2 seconds. But yeah, YouTube guys, we've been on for about an hour and a half. Remember, guys, you got D coming on right after me as well. I won't keep you guys any longer. You guys know what the plan is for the rest of the day. We are looking for gold to create this top wick on the next hour, and then you want to be shorting back down from probably going to take like 9 till 10 a.m. It's more of an hourly trade than a scalp, to be honest. But I would love to hold this down in some major lows. So if you guys did get the shorts, amazing, well done. Great session today, guys. Shared lots of value on these price action candles as well. And I will see you guys same time again tomorrow, and we'll recap on the levels that we've spoken about, and we'll see how gold plays out for the rest of the day. So I appreciate you guys taking time to tune in. I will see you guys same time again tomorrow. Be sure to stick around for the show, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Trade safe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.